Hey, we are live on the Green Umbrella live lunch. As I hit live then, there's like a new thing in StreamYard. I was like, I hit live, I was ready to go, and this new thing popped up. I was like, ooh, what's that? Immediately got distracted. But we're here, we are live, it's all good, it's all good. So it looks like StreamYard it's in beta. Normally what happens is we go live on StreamYard and it records it in StreamYard, we have to download it. But I had the option then to actually record it locally. It's a bit like Zoom. You can record it in the cloud or record it locally. So bit of really...
So something else I've got to hassle you for then?
Well, no, I think we'll keep recording it in the cloud. But obviously, if you think like with your, if you're investing in StreamYard and you've got so much storage, being able to record it locally means you don't necessarily have to go up a level on your subscription. Mm-hmm. So yeah, good thing, definitely a good thing. So I can see we're live on LinkedIn. I haven't had a notification for Facebook just yet. Hopefully we are live there. That's it. Give it a quick check, Kim. Do you know what? I feel quite flustered today because I had to take my daughter to college this morning, which I wasn't expecting, hadn't diarised for. So it was all of, oh, there you go. David's over on Facebook. He says we're live. Whoop, whoop. Brilliant. I need to catch up actually, David Thorne over there on Facebook. Let's get that scheduled. So yeah, I had an unexpected morning, but a lovely drive. You know, sometimes when you're just driving, you have your best ideas. And it's like you're driving and you're focused on the road and all that kind of thing. And you can't just like drop a message to someone saying, hey, we should do this. So I am desperately trying to hold on to this idea that I've had. But I got back from there and jumped straight into the call Catalyst, which, of course, you were on as well, Kim.
Mm-hmm. It was a good call, actually, really good call. So we always plan these things for sort of anywhere up to an hour, don't we? But most of the time, we tends to sort of just naturally like finish at about half an hour, 40 minutes. But today it was so good, and I think we were on there for what, an hour and 20.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we have our online course, the Catalyst course. Every week people get recorded video on the Monday and a bit of homework to do, and then on the Thursday we jump on Zoom and it's Q&A. It's like a bit of a hot seat. We go around, everyone that joins the call, right? How did you find doing the homework this week? Are there any challenges, etc., etc.? And we deal with what's in the room to make sure people stay on track, get the work done, progress through the course, and they're actually getting actionable stuff out of it that they're implementing as the course goes on, rather than doing the course and being left to implement afterwards. So it is quite often, it's like, no, I understood, this is what I did, no challenges, we're good. Other times it's like, well, actually, I really struggled with this bit, or didn't have the time because X, Y, and Z came up in the business. Mm-hmm. But today's call was just like, it was like absolute masterminding. Like everyone was contributing, exchanging ideas. We talked about the marketing stuff, and this week in Catalyst, it's the content planning week. So we talked about different content ideas, different ways of approaching it, how to organise your content planning. But then we also talked about some of the challenges that get in the way. And I think that's where it really came alive, because actually there was quite a bit of mindset stuff in there as well, right?
Yeah, 100%. So I mean, we started, as you said, you were dropping Bella off to college. So you joined us about 10 minutes in. By that point, all we'd done really was just moan about our kids and them being back to school, and just how crazy life has been in this last week and a half. It's like, I feel like all of us collectively on the call just haven't had a chance to think. So that was quite nice. I like the fact that we can jump on and we get the coursework and stuff done, but we also get to have a little bit of a bit of a de-stress. Do you know what I mean? We spoke about the kids, we spoke about Rec Expo coming up. There was some suggestion. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but Kayhan did find an inflatable giraffe suit, and I'm happy to take one for the team. I'll do it. I'll take it.
I'd love to see that.
Anything for a giggle.
Cool. I would as well.
Absolutely. There was an interesting moment as well, because obviously there's so much stuff that comes out every week related to social media and different things. There's different places we get notifications and all that sort of stuff. and something popped up in that call that I'd not seen or heard of.
Mhm.
And that, well, I don't know, Kim, if you want to share about this.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we've just come off the call, so I haven't had a chance to look into it fully, but apparently LinkedIn are going to dump hashtags. Anybody else seen that? Yeah. Apparently so. Who is it? Mr. LinkedIn,
Wow.
who is, I want to say Mark Williams. Is that right?
So I mean, I did a quick search because like literally we've had 30 minutes between that call ending and getting ready to come onto here, and I had to do another quick live stream for something else in between. So I've not had a chance to look into it that much. I can't see, like, immediately looking, I can't see anything official having come from LinkedIn saying that they're getting rid of it. What's happened is someone's been in a chat, if you like, with LinkedIn support saying, I have searches set up with hashtags, but they're just not working. What's happening? And what's come back from LinkedIn support is a message saying that LinkedIn are testing the effect of removing hashtags. So it's not officially come out, it's something they've been testing.
Interesting.
So being able to search for content using hashtags, being able to create a hashtag that people follow so that you can make sure they don't miss any updates, that kind of thing, it's a really powerful tool, but not a lot of people actually use it. Not a lot
I
of
was
people
just about to say that. Like, I don't follow any hashtags on LinkedIn. I've never even thought about, but I do on Instagram, so I can see.
See, I do. I do. However, I don't see a lot of content in my feed that is content based on those hashtags. It tends to be more when you're searching for posts and looking at things that way. At the same time, what LinkedIn is also testing is the ability to, let's say you do a search and you filter by posts, actually turn updates on for any posts relating to that search. So it feels like they're testing removing the hashtags, but turning on an ability for you to get updates around a specific search. So I feel like they're just flipping things a little bit. What they're probably finding is that having all these hashtags set up and categorized in that way is probably taking up server space, right? Now, I'm not techie in this way, so I could be totally wrong. But I would imagine that's what they're doing. Everything is already all posts are already being indexed. So it would make sense to me that it would be more efficient to have updates on searches rather than people following the hashtags, creating additional hashtags, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting move. So yeah, but like I said, this is what happens when I take 2 weeks out and I completely switch off. There's like 2 weeks of updates and reading that I've just, to be honest, at this point now, anything I haven't read from those 2 weeks, I made the decision I'm not going to try and catch up with, because I'd either see it live or there will be other articles as things are actually rolled out. So yeah, that's quite an interesting one. I think as well, I would be more inclined to have updates switched on for my searches, because then I'm being served this stuff through my notifications rather than just hoping it appears in my feed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyone with hashtags, because LinkedIn I just don't associate with hashtags. Like Twitter and Instagram are the two that I'm like, it's hashtag city. So it's like, I wonder if you will see a difference within engagement when the hashtags are gone.
I think this is the thing, because I don't feel that people use hashtags to find content in the same way they do on Instagram, for example.
That's what I think.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And like I said, if this is something they're testing at the minute to see what impact it has, we'll see if it rolls out. I did read an article about the updates on, having the updates turn on when you're searching posts. I think that was probably about 3-4 days ago. I saw that. but obviously at that point, I didn't realise they were looking to remove hashtags. When I heard that on that call, and like I said, what I've seen very quickly in the last literally 30 minutes, now that makes more sense that they're looking to bring that in. Because at the time I was thinking, well, why would you do that? We can just follow hashtags. So yeah. So what else? Like there has been, I feel like there's a lot that's happened this week. I've got like 4 things that we can talk about. But Mark, what about you? What have you seen? I know you're normally looking at like the techie, the AI, the stuff that bores me.
Well, I mean, sort of related to LinkedIn. LinkedIn are actually giving away for free some of their AI courses, or their most popular AI courses. Ooh. So there's been 33 times as many LinkedIn posts mentioning topics like generative AI and ChatGPT over the last year, or over that period. So basically, it was on their blog. There's been a 65% increase in learning hours for sort of AI courses over 2022 to 23. So basically, they're giving away free access to the top 10 courses till the end. I think it's to the end of the year, December the 15th. So there's courses in there for things like how to research and write using AI tools. Obviously, simple things. What is generative AI? Some stuff about Python coding, if you're into that kind of thing.
Python coding?
Python, yeah, it's a programming language.
Okay.
Yeah, for me as well. Not
good.
Yeah, but also things about how to talk to the AI, so prompt engineering and stuff like that. So how to get the best out of them. So yeah, that's quite cool. But that's in the LinkedIn blog.
Cool. Do you know that if anyone's going to dive into any of those courses, I think the prompt engineering is probably the thing that's going to be most valuable. So much we can get from AI, but if the prompts are not right, then I think a lot of people that kind of go, oh yeah, well, I don't like what I get out of ChatGPT or Write Sonic or whatever they're using. It's quite often to do with the prompts, the commands they're putting in. So yeah, it's definitely one to look at. We should probably say we. In fact, no, Mark, you can bloody do it. Mark should, delegation at play there. Mark should write an article around prompts to put into AI, because he loves a bit of the AI stuff.
I can just write it with AI.
You could. Absolutely, why not? But especially some of the AI stuff that is creating imagery.
Yeah,
I think that's it's an important thing if people are going to use that stuff and get it right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've spoken quite a lot about that. I've seen some good stuff where people are obviously using a mix of tools to sort of generate images. But again, whether it's coming down to prompts or whether some of the individual sort of apps on their own are not quite there yet, it's still a little bit hit and miss. But I'm still liking some of the stuff in Photoshop, so that's sort of handy, definitely.
Fantastic. And anything else from you this week?
Just a little Threads one, really. So you can now follow a specific conversation, aka a thread in Threads, rather than having to follow the person essentially. And also, if you click on someone's profile, including your own, you can see sort of likes, reposts, and quotes separately, so you can see what someone's actually liked, what they've reposted, and whether they've quoted a repost on there as well. So just gives you a bit more information. And there was something else. Searching for stuff and moderation. I haven't tried this, but apparently this is on social media today. People sort of notice that when you search for certain things, nothing's coming up. So that apparently they're sort of blocking information at the minute, but they've come back and said that the search functionality doesn't necessarily provide results for keywords that might show potentially sensitive content, but once they've got the moderation sorted, then it will sort of sort all that out as well. So it was, I think people use the example of looking for like COVID stuff. So I suppose it's like things that are conspiracy theory type things. So, but they said they will, once they've sorted the moderation out, they will like give some search results for that kind of stuff.
I got a bit distracted then, right?
I was going to say, you okay, hun?
Yeah, do you know what it is? I feel like I'm really far away from the camera and I didn't shut the blind, so I look all washed out.
Yeah.
I look like a negative. So give me 1 second and sort the blind
Oh my
out.
gosh, Nicole.
But also, this is
is
what I'm saying. Like, so this is the thing. I love this world, and there's stuff that I like get really like. It just pulls me in. It doesn't matter what goes on. I'm like razor focus. But some of this stuff, I'm a bit like, and then I tune out and get distracted. So I'm sorry, Mark. It's really disrespectful of me, really. I'm going to.
We're used to it.
To catch your blog that you've now got to write, so pop that on the to-do list.
Yeah. It's locked away at the back here.
See, that's better. I don't look so much like a ghost now. I can't believe I've just done that. I just completely was just like, I'm sorry.
You've done that a lot this week, haven't you?
Well, I think getting back into everything, I've just been like, there's a million, I'm like bouncing from one call to, and then I remembered there's a client I spoke to yesterday that I need to talk to Mark about, because it's someone who's launching so it's a previous client who's now launching a new business in January, having successfully exited their business. And so they're launching something new in January, and they need logo, they need a website. We need to get those things sorted. They've got an idea for a lead magnet that we need to help them create, and they want us to do LinkedIn management and blogs and things from January onwards as well. But I need to brief Mark on it, because that's basically, when we talk to someone the first time, we have a form where we take their brief for their logo inquiry, and a website inquiry. So those two things should come through today. But what will happen is that if I don't tell Mark, has it?
Yeah.
I feel like you're only saying this, so there's like a recording of what you still need to talk to Mark about.
So Paul Green,
feel like that?
Paul's just put, brace yourself, Mark. And this is my, so to be fair, the conversation was at the end of the day yesterday, and I have been like solid bounce this morning. So I'm sorry I didn't tell you already, Mark. But this is the pace at which we work at, and we've got processes in place. So that form's come through, and because it's so fantastically well designed by Mark in terms of the questions, he'll have all the information he needs. It just would have been nice for me to tell him beforehand that this would be coming. Sorry.
Welcome to Green Umbrella.
Okay, someone else speak now whilst I sit in the naughty corner.
I'm done.
Well, I'll just go then, please.
Come on, Nicole.
Mine's basically like the opposite to Threads in terms of it is Instagram, but Threads seems to be opening its doors to everything. As you said just then, it's like you can see everyone's likes, reposts. Instagram is currently now testing in the privacy section element of the app that you can now hide your likes and comments, and you can choose who sees them. So pretty much like close friends, but you can like choose who sees your likes and stuff. I don't know.
Perhaps they'll roll back on Threads and
who cares?
But like, who cares? Who thinks I must find out how many posts Christina's liked? Like, what? Why is it even there? I don't get it.
So do you know what went straight to my head when I read that? Was I just thought sneaky people like wanting to like other people's Instagram posts without their like other half knowing.
See, that's just you being.
Day and age, I feel like
don't judge other people by your own behaviour, Nicole.
I'm out in the open. I'd never hide it, but like I think that this is what's going on in this day and age. That everyone gets funny over Instagram likes, especially when it comes to men liking other girls' Instagram pictures. I
Yeah, but
feel
then
like
I feel
that
like
is
that's
get funny.
yeah.
But then
I
I
don't
feel
know.
that's creating like a, that's not, say if you were starting to date someone, this is where my mind went, and you're hiding all the like pictures that you like from the person you're dating. It's like you're not starting the relationship off on a good foot.
But then if you're dating, if it's dating versus a relationship, where's this going?
I don't know. When I read that, that was the first thing that came to my head. I thought, oh no, there's going to be a few sneaky people out here.
You know, I think I forget that people use social media for anything other than business.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What came into my head was nothing like that. And I can see in the comments on Facebook, right? So first of all, this is a message for you, Nicole, directly from Paul.
I'm just saying what most of
David has said the same. Like David said, his head went there too. My head went to, well, if I'm implementing my hit list strategy on Instagram, then I would be engaging with those accounts where I'm trying to get those people on board as clients, as partnerships, that kind of stuff from a business perspective. So a competitor might go, okay, who's she engaging with, and let's go after those people too. So I think I just forget sometimes that people use social media for anything other than business. I just didn't go there, Nicole. What'd you say, Kim?
I said, well done for bringing it back to the subject matter, though. Well,
seamless, right?
Not as good as Nicole's last week, though. I'm still very impressed by that.
Can't remember what I said.
No, me neither, but it was good.
But yeah, that's the thing. That's a really good point, Christina. So yeah, I think that's a positive.
Yeah.
Whereas mine's like very negative. It's just like I don't know.
She has been hurt. Bless her.
I'm just reading Paul Green's comments.
I'm gonna exit. How's Nicole searching for I mean,
as long as she wasn't using hashtags on LinkedIn to find them.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's been something else on Instagram this week relating to Reels, Nicole. Did you see that?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Basically, what we chatted about last week. Me and Kim were, Christina and Mark were in the know. Me and Kim were not. Because at the top of Instagram, you can click the Instagram logo and you can select your favorites and following. And if you go into the following, it will show all the people that you're following and their content only, not a bunch of content that's in your algorithm that you could potentially like. And now it's the same with Reels. So if you went on a Reel, you can go to the top left of the screen and you can click following and it will just show all the people that you're following's Reels.
I really like that.
Really.
Yeah, but I really like it because I'll go into, so let's say I see a Reel. I don't go into the tab and look at Reels, but I might in my feed see something or someone shared something to their stories and I'll go in then. And of course, then you take a look whilst you're there. But the reason I don't use it is because I end up seeing so much stuff that I'm just not interested in. I want to see stuff from people I'm following in terms of Reels. So yeah, that's for me as a user, that's quite a welcome update.
Yeah.
Makes it a bit more like TikTok as well, because obviously we can do that on TikTok. Just look at stuff from people you're following. So,
that's what I think that's where they followed them. Do you know what I mean? Because I think it's called following, obviously on Instagram, on TikTok, it's for you. But yeah, they're taking inspo from TikTok.
Excellent. I can't remember. There's something I've seen. Well, I've seen it before because it was it was going to happen, but now it's actually happening. And I can't remember if we've talked about this already on Live Lunch. Facebook. So you've got Facebook News. Have we talked about the fact that they were looking at getting rid of it?
Didn't even know it was still a thing.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
Like I said, I think I've read something, but I don't think we've spoken about it.
Yeah, so basically it's like a channel within LinkedIn, a channel within Facebook where you just see news articles. So you wouldn't necessarily have to follow like BBC News's Facebook page. You could just go to the news feed and you would be shown news that's related to your geographical area, or things that you follow, talk about, where Facebook notices that this is something you're interested. Any news articles relating to that would be in there. So they talked, I don't know, I want to say like 6 months ago, I'd seen something, might not even be as long ago as that, saying that they were looking to remove it. And an article's now come out to say it's going to disappear in early December.
Oh, wow.
Now, I don't know what this means, okay, but one of the possible implications are maybe they're looking at putting more value back into Facebook pages. So we know that, like, where, as far as the algorithm's concerned, Facebook pages don't get as much weight as something coming from an individual or something coming via a group when it comes to like what's appearing in your feed. So if they're taking this away and they're saying you're still going to be able to access news, you just need to access it through that Facebook page instead. So if we were a news outlet, rather than having things set up so we've got a hook into Facebook, if you like, for Facebook to see our news articles and pop them in there, we just need to keep our Facebook pages updated. So that would presuppose that people that want to hear from us need to make sure they're engaging with our Facebook page and getting the news from us directly. Now, it's not going to affect anything in terms of any obligations they have with sort of publishers, news publishers and that kind of stuff. And this is, they've said it's going to disappear. It's UK, Germany, and France, I think. Yeah, I think it's UK, Germany, and France that this is happening in. So, if they've got obligations with, let's say, use BBC News again as an example, they're still going to like uphold those obligations. But yeah, I just think it's going to tidy, as an app, it's going to tidy Facebook up again. So it just feels, things happening, like the news on LinkedIn and the hashtags, this as well, just feels like everyone's doing, I say everyone, I'm talking about 2 platforms and generalizing that everyone's doing a bit of housekeeping. But yeah, it's quite interesting, and I think it is about, they've got all these different products and bits and services, and it's like, how do we streamline things? How do we tidy everything up and just make it easier for people to access the stuff they actually want to access?
Yeah, I just don't know why anybody would want to watch the news, to be honest.
That might be part of it. It might be that they're finding like, actually, no one's using this facility.
Yeah.
Putting, carbon footprint and all that sort of stuff. We've got all this stuff at play that actually no one's using. Let's get it out.
Yeah, maybe.
So that's one thing. I saw another article as well so I think it's Hootsuite have done a report around hardships for social media managers. Like, why is the life of a social media manager so hard? Right, and interestingly, cost of living wasn't in there. The role of a social media manager has changed massively over the last 10 years. 10 years ago, there weren't that many social media managers in business. It was like you were in marketing. And then over that time period, we've sort of seen this role split down into different roles. And, you'd have a marketing manager and a digital marketing manager. And I have those 2 roles. But even under that digital marketing, you've got, someone in a role that is specific to paid advertising. You've got a role that is specific to social media. So what was interesting to me is like one of the top hardship was that social media managers have too many responsibilities. It's an interesting thought, isn't it? Because it is, as a social media manager, you're thinking about the platforms, you're dealing with the engagement, you're dealing with the content creation, content planning, running campaigns. you are quite often sort of, there's a bit of team management in there as well if you're part of a larger organization to try and get content through from people. It is a very full job. Most social media managers are working in excess of 40 hours a week. Most of them are saying that their bosses don't understand social media. About half of them are saying that they don't have the budgets to do what they need to do. It's a really, for me, it's a really, really interesting piece of research, because it is like, what are the challenges that the people we look to work with, what are the challenges that they're facing? Because again, if I go back to the call we had this morning with the people on the current cohort of Catalyst, a lot of them are business owners. So they are the marketing manager and the HR manager and the FD and the director. So they've got to be the visionary, but they've also got to be the admin support as well in their business. And especially in early stages, it's really hard to like have the budget to outsource all of this stuff. So it's, for me, it's a really, really interesting piece of research. And it just makes it so clear where, as marketers, as social media people, we should be using AI more and more and more to kind of not do the job for us, but lighten the load.
Yeah.
And also, I think expectations as well around what your social media manager does. Because like you say, you've got the ads, you've got this, you've got that, you've got the email, you've got blah, blah, blah. And I think something that you said the other day, what was it? A champagne, what was it, Nicole? Remember, something like a champagne service on a lemonade budget or something like that. And it's, it can be tricky, because I do think that people think, you know, you're looking after our social media. That means you as my bitch.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you're doing everything. You like that, didn't you, Nicole? The B word on live lunch. Sorry, Mark. And yeah, it's just, I don't think many people, and it's that thing again, so you just play on Facebook all day, do you? They don't actually understand. I mean, to be fair, I do say that to my friends when they say, what do you do for work? And I went, play around with TikTok and Instagram, because it's just the quick way to.
I mean, okay, so a social media manager, how much of their day would you expect them to spend on social media as a percentage?
I feel like this is a trick question.
Yeah, because I think manager, as we've just spoken about it, that's a lot of roles within just going on the social media. So I'm going to go.
You don't spend much time.
Yeah, I'm going to guess 15%. Right, I'm the first to guess. Somebody else go.
So if you're managing, that suggests that you're managing, you're not doing. So, 42.5.
Oh, okay. You went higher.
I feel like that's where we're going to get ourselves in trouble, Nicole.
I suppose the element of managing, though, is the managing of the social media. So I wouldn't see it as a managing anything else. I suppose it depends on the individual. So I'd say 50%.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so the stats are, so actually I've just pulled it up.
I thought you were just guessing. I thought you were just asking. I didn't realize it was a quiz. Oh, right, okay.
So this is in-house and agency social media managers, okay? And it is, I think it's really small, something like that, trying to read it. It's like 3,000 and odd people were completed the survey.
And the winner is?
So 45% of people surveyed spend 10 to 49% of their day on social media.
Oh, that's a bit of a range.
Yeah. They spend between 1 and 99% of their day. Who did this?
Yeah, the same people that do those shampoo things when it comes up on TV. 10% of
10% of 2 people.
Yeah, but this is like 3,000 and odd. I feel like it's a good sample, right? So 33% of social media marketers spend 50 to 89% of their time on social media. Right? So only 11% are spending more than 90% of their day on social. And there's 11% of social media managers spending less than 10% of their day.
Wow.
I think that's really, really interesting. But this is the, so I think this is the thing we've really got to, if you're looking at your business, you're looking at your marketing function and you're thinking, I want to bring someone in that's going to look after my social media, you've got to allow them the capacity of time to spend on the channels to be able to do what they need to do and get the results. We have people come, I've got this person in my business and they look after the social media, but we're not seeing results. And when we dig into it, it's like they're there to do that one role. However, they're actually looking after someone's diary as well, and they're doing this and they're doing that. And yes, especially in SMEs, you find that people, and like Kim, like you are the exact example of this in our business. Like your role, we can't really put a label on because you do so many different things in different places. Like your role is to plug the gaps and make sure that you're the oil that keeps the machine that is Christina running in this business, right?
Jack of all trades, master of none.
So, but like I said, you're going to bring someone in to do that role. You've got to allow them to do that role. So yeah, like for me, there's loads of stats in there, but it is really, really interesting.
Paul's feeling very brave and a bit confident today. I know that you've seen that, Nicole. I saw your eyes go down.
I know. I was just like, oh, what's the label? I want to know.
Okay, right. So I'm looking through this now for like the bits that made me giggle or all that sort of stuff. Like, what's a really easy task when it comes to social media management?
Liking.
What you say, Nicole?
I don't know, just literally engaging with stuff, liking stuff.
Yeah, so it says on here, like easy task, responding to comments and messages. Absolutely. What's a tough task when it comes to social media management?
The clients.
I would say
writing content, surely.
Yeah.
Okay, so writing copy is a meh task, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's something that's a bit of a pain in the bum. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, challenging.
Okay.
From a time perspective or
any perspective?
Because I think creating reels and TikToks for a 30-second video, you could be spending about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What are you going to say, Nicole?
I was just going to say maybe building the actual content plan strategy.
Okay, so these are the things that they're saying are the tough tasks. So planning and managing influencer partnerships, sourcing UGC, user-generated content, planning and executing ads, as in paid ads.
I was going to say, right, yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Freaking right. If you're trying to run ads on LinkedIn the last few weeks, it's been an absolute ball ache. It's just like there is a little gremlin in that system, and
I know what's going on.
I'm like, should we just cut running LinkedIn ads? I'm like, I can't be doing with it. Filming and editing videos, which ties into what you were saying, Kim. Tracking and reporting on analytics, Kim. I know you've had a headache with Twitter analytics this week. Just
a headache.
Information.
Had a breakdown, Christina, not a headache.
I'm planning and managing campaign strategy, and I feel that this is the thing that people don't get when it comes to managing social media, because it's constant. Okay, it's not like you don't just, for a lot of businesses, you've got something launching and you run a campaign ahead of that, but you end up, there's different things happening in business all the time. So you need consistent content. So you've got, like, you want to drop a campaign in, but you can't only be talking about that one thing. You've got to have other stuff around it. And there's a campaign here and it. So when we've got that campaign and we want to use a bit of paid, but we can't use paid to do this and that at the same time, because we're then trying to compete for the same audience. And if we try and talk to everyone, we don't talk to anyone. So it is that, like, managing and planning campaigns from a social media management perspective is really, really tough going at times. And I do think people think it's a really easy job.
That's the impression I get.
Yeah.
Exactly what Kim said. You say, oh yeah, I do social media, and everyone's like, oh, that's quite easy then, isn't it?
I'm like,
it's like,
well, we
no.
have a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, we have a lot of fun, but the amount of plates spinning at one time. Oh.
But it's the one thing that you think about, that social media is just going to be in our lives for like ever now. So it's like, it's as you said, Christine, like 10 years ago or however long ago, it was probably more manageable. But now it's like growing and growing and growing. So it's like we're in the right industry.
Yeah.
It's going to keep evolving.
Absolutely. Cool. I have one more thing about WhatsApp, but I feel like I've talked a lot. So Kim, have you got anything?
I saw very cool. I've got a very exciting update. TikTok shop. I'll get onto that in a minute. I did see it, but this is an actual update. Reddit, you can now translate your feed. There's 8 different languages. I don't know exactly what all 8 are, but I think I remember French, German, Italian, Dutch, something else, and something else. So underneath like the username or something, you can click the button and it will translate your whole feed for you into one of those 5+3 languages. So that was quite good. I mean, I don't use Reddit myself. I don't know who uses Reddit. I don't really know what it is. I don't really know what the point.
Oh, she's frozen.
There she is.
And she's back again. Back in the room.
Is Reddit like a platform that you ask questions?
Yeah, there's conversation threads. So
yeah,
my experience of Reddit is that it tends to be quite more technical, quite highbrow conversations. It's not as casual as other platforms.
How funny. A tab open I've got running at the moment is a Reddit one for PS2 games. How random.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean?
Like, I was asking for recommendations.
It's just reminded me of something you're saying about that. I need to find the article now, because there was a whole thing somewhere about retro gaming and how it's influencing marketing.
Oh, right. Wow.
Yeah. I'll have to find that.
When you say retro gaming, Mark, you mean like the 90s now, don't you?
No, PS3. No, I don't know.
Oh, PS3. I think that's even like
quite retro, isn't it now? And Xbox 360.
No, I was taking the mickey with that, but yeah, I don't know, just probably more 90s sort of Game Boy-y sort of stuff.
Sega Mega Drive.
Sega, yeah.
N64.
Yeah.
Christina's like, I don't know what these things are you're telling me, but
no, I know what a Game Boy is.
What's an N64? What's an N64?
N60, Nintendo 64. Wasn't it like, it was about that big, and you put the games in the top of it? Is it that one?
I mean,
Nintendo.
That could be most 90s consoles, though. To be fair.
Yeah. Sega Mega Drive, N64.
I had a Game Boy Advance.
Of course you did.
Right. So I remember Commodore 64 used to put a tape in and press play on.
Brilliant. I love a bit of throwback stuff, me. Like the stuff that I keep seeing on my Facebook at the moment. I'm like, oh, like, do you remember those really tacky, god-awful Christmas decorations that used to have like in the 80s? It'd be all like foil things and everything like that. And you'd sit for hours making paper chains with like your brother and stuff like that. Yeah, good times.
See, I would still, if my kids were younger, I'd still make paper chains and things like that with them now.
Can I just
say,
the
snowflakes, like this star thing made in the office. I love that stuff.
Paul's just commented, I remember tape loading games / computers. Paul, you remember the penny farthing. That's you getting your own back. Okay.
I just looked at I just looked at a PS3 and it came out in 2006. That's like 20 years ago. That's retro.
Jeez.
No, it's
So like that was the Nintendo. We're talking about a Nintendo being retro, then a PS3 is going to be retro.
What's the definition?
PS2 would be
of
retro, maybe not PS3.
What's the definition of retro?
Okay.
Yeah. Technically 20 years is vintage. Okay, we're like 3 years off then, the PS3 being vintage.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the difference between vintage and retro?
I'd say vintage is older.
Oh, really?
Vintage to me is like
I'm going to look at
1920s. Retro, I'm feeling 70s, 80s. Not ready to admit the 90s yet, Nicole.
But it is, though, isn't it? That's the problem. When they have retro 90s nights now.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Yeah, oh, they do. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not getting on board with that.
No, I know. Nah, not for me.
Not having that.
David says, technically, 20 years is vintage.
And he's right. I've just looked it up.
No, that
Vintage
can't
is like
be.
20 years. Yeah.
No, vintage is like stuff that my grandmother would have
Yeah.
been her.
Like trinkets and things.
It's like authentic things, they've said, from an era.
Yeah, that's
But I would say like a Game Boy is like is vintage now.
I don't like where this conversation is going to be.
David Thorne's put another comment up, and I don't even understand this. That makes sense, but sadly, I suspect as history places, 80s. What's history?
Oh, for God, history. The radio station. You know the place that Nicole used to work with all the celebrities, but now she works with us celebrities.
Oh, okay.
It's a radio station.
It's like it's the old school tracks.
I'm not going to lie to you. The other week, I heard "Faithless" Insomnia on Radio 2, and I thought, oh my God.
Oh, I saw this video yesterday, and it was some kid watching, Snoop Dogg's "Drop It Like It's Hard."
Yeah.
And he went, "Oh my God, that song's on Fortnite or from Fortnite," and then like, it was just. I'm not going to repeat the rest of the video because I can't. I'll send it to you.
Okay, good.
So basically, they were saying that song is from Fortnite when actually it was like.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they're going, oh my God, this is from Because
wow.
Ollie is a massive Rick Astley fan now because so there's a thing on YouTube and they go, oh, I've just Rick rolled you, trolled. And then when they troll someone, Never Gonna Give You Up, the intro to that comes on and he's like, I said, what are you doing? He went, just listening to Rick Astley. I'm like, I've actually got a video of him doing it as well.
That's the thing, everything comes back around, doesn't it? Like fashion, or like music, like you just, I don't know.
Right, Paul Green's answered the question for us. So retro is something that's retro is a new item that's been made to imitate items of the past.
Right.
So
we can't actually call a PS3 retro.
Yeah, we can't.
Because it's vintage.
Made others. It's vintage.
Yeah.
It's amazing the things we learn on Live Lunch. Educational, this is. Educational. This is what everyone's after,
right? We sing a bit for Paul.
Oh, let's give Paul some love. He sat in a library listening to us. Let's give him some love.
Never gonna give you up.
I mean, we let him down all the time. Clearly, that we out with on this show, but it's
don't sing, Nicole. We'll have to pay royalties.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me in trouble again.
Snoop Dogg's already on the phone.
Oh wow, yeah, I sung Snoop Dogg as well.
He does watch, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's got loads of time.
Well, he's on LinkedIn now, isn't he?
He is on LinkedIn now.
Yeah.
Kim, anything else from you?
Not news-wise, but I have got a bit of an exciting update, guys. So, if you tuned into last week, Paul, I know you did, we were talking about like TikTok tat, weren't we? All the crap that you can buy on these like different platforms that's basically absolutely worth nothing, and it'll probably break as it arrives through the door. So we said we were going to do like a little bit of a special. My brain went, go and order loads of crap. Okay. So this week we have got arriving, guys, for the good of the nation and Paul watching. We have got a pressure shower being delivered, a donut maker. Thank you, Nicole. Right. So this week we have got a pressure shower.
Woo!
What was the other thing?
Like being
A
on the
donut
generation game,
maker.
whatever it was.
Woo! It's like an old fashioned game.
And you are part of the nation, Paul, but I mean you're the only one that watches. And also a little starlight for my son's bedroom, which is really nice. And I'm holding out high hopes because the 3 items collectively, that what time does Kim's carer get here? I am the carer. So you've put me right off now. Pressure
What's
shower.
worse is Kim's my carer.
I know, you imagine. So the pressure shower and the donut maker and the light, all together, how much do you think they cost in total? Don't you guys answer because I think I've already told you. David, Paul, Gary, I can see you watching. I need your answers. I feel like a game show host now.
That's what it's like.
£10, £10. £5.63.
Woo!
And that's including shipping. I mean,
He's going to be quality.
Quality. Yeah. So that's
Or are they just the components and you've got to actually make the items when they get here?
Probably. Probably.
So are we going to do a Green Umbrella live lunch from your kitchen whilst you make
Paul,
donuts live on air?
I've been called that before, Paul, and I don't really appreciate that. Thank you. So but we could do a TikTok tat section because the house is full of it.
Paul's just said he's bought something off that site you were talking about last week.
That was where I got this stuff from. I usually get from TikTok, but the price point's been out of my range at this time of month. So I went for the Temu and it was very reasonably priced. So you okay, Nicole?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the bargain basement game.
Yeah. Right,
just unnecessary, wasn't it, Kim? Unnecessary.
It's just taking me back to
Paul follows it up by bought some stuff on Temu.
Paul, it just takes me back to my school days. I just don't need that retro memory. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. So I did have one last bit of news, but I feel like I'm completely ruining the phone by bringing it back to our purpose for being here.
I think our purpose for being here is just entertaining people at this point.
Entertaining the nation.
We share some insights, some useful information in between.
It's all about 80-20.
Yeah.
All about the 80-20. Okay, so here's my thing. WhatsApp. So first of all, we had WhatsApp, we could message each other, and then we had WhatsApp groups that just drive me insane. And now we've got WhatsApp communities. And what's happened is that with WhatsApp groups, you can create a group that is basically like a broadcast group. So I could create a group of us and I can put messages in. You guys can respond, but you can't put messages into that group. So it's really good if you if you're you've got a small community and you need to shoot updates out there, but you don't want to have to manage the chat and all that kind of thing, right? So WhatsApp are creating channels. So they've already tested this in a few countries. but they're now rolling it out to 150 countries. So the idea is that as a brand, Green Umbrella could have a channel that people can subscribe to.
Yeah.
And we can put updates out there, and it could be like, the new blog's just been released, webinars happening here, Christina's talking at Rec Expo. So we can just put updates out there and people subscribe for our updates. So David's just put in the chat, a bit like Telegram, exactly that. So my feeling is that what's happened is because WhatsApp has become so noisy and really very clunky in the way that it works from a user perspective, because you've just got so much information coming in, that a lot of people have kind of they're moving their communities over to Telegram because there's less going on there anyway, so their information is less likely to be missed because it's not just going to get lost. But I guarantee if I open WhatsApp now, there will be, because of the way it's laid out. Hold on. Right, so I've got 48 notifications since we've been online.
That makes me feel sick. That literally makes me feel sick.
This is why notifications don't bother me. So I've got all this stuff coming through all the time, right? And so things get lost. They end up like it's a new message, but it's like 2-3 scrolls away. So I think what will happen, what I'm not clear on, is if within the app you'll get another. Obviously, you've got your calls, your communities, your chats, whether we'll get another option down there where you can check for your channels, or whether you'll be able to choose, do I want to have channels there or do I want to have communities down there? And you'll be able to click in and it would almost filter that stuff through.
Okay, so I've got a question. What's the difference, if I don't know if my brain's just completely shut down from what we've just spoken about, what's the difference between that and a broadcast list then?
So a broadcast list is if I, as an individual, I want to, so I can
that's you shooting it out to, got you,
yeah. So to multiple people as one-to-one messages.
Yeah, got you. So I've just answered, got you.
So it's kind of the same in reverse, but obviously as users, we opt to which channels we want to follow.
Yeah.
So so like I said, this is launching. It says today. Actually, when was this? Yeah, so yesterday. Yeah, so I know I read the article last night, but so yesterday it was launched to 150 countries. I don't have it yet, but there'll be there's going to be a directory for these channels. You'll be able to, as users, you'll be able to react to the update. So a bit like a group now where you've got it set that people can't engage or can't post themselves. So you'll have that reaction option. As admins, we'll be able to edit our updates as well. But the interesting thing is in the information they've shared, there's a comment in there about you can edit the updates you put into your channel for up to 30 days. And it makes it sound like after 30 days, the updates will be removed.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's interesting to me because it's a really clean way of being able to put information out there. I feel. Yeah,
because when you're in a group, it's just like someone at you, and it's like go all the way back, and it's just very noisy.
Yeah, and things like there's some communities I'm in, some groups I'm in, and it's like so you end up 10 conversations going on, but nothing's threaded, so it becomes difficult to follow. Which is why they brought communities in, but it's also where Telegram's almost a better tool for running a community in. So I don't know how much audience is being lost from WhatsApp over to Telegram, and there's another app as well. I always forget the name of it. I'm going to check. What's it called? It is called Signal. So when Telegram, do you remember ages ago, there was all this stuff about privacy stuff on WhatsApp and people were jumping off of WhatsApp?
Yes. Yeah.
So at that point, Signal and Telegram kind of appeared at that point, and a lot of people jumped into Signal first. Telegram sort of rose in popularity second, I'd say. And I think the difference is that Telegram just built so much functionality in really quickly that I think a lot of the audience went over to Telegram rather than Signal. I feel like I'm getting really boring now.
I feel like I've not heard of Signal, and I feel like my brain is about to burst.
All right, so don't worry about Signal. Don't worry about Signal. But yeah, the key thing is WhatsApp are going to be launching these channels. I think it's a really good opportunity, especially for people like us. That we produce a lot of content that's meaningful in the form of our blogs. We're doing things like the webinars that add value. We're speaking, I'm speaking at events. So there's always stuff going on in our calendar. You know, my podcast episodes, things like it's a really good way of creating instant notifications for your audience and for the people that actually want to hear from you. So yeah, I think it'll have merit. I'm looking forward to this one rolling out.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done.
Okay, good. No, it's a bit. I think that sounds very, very good. Actually, very good.
I'm glad you agree.
I'm really tired, guys. Does anybody else just feel like it's a bit of a slog now, isn't it? You know
No,
what I mean?
I've been tired all week. This week is the reverse. I've been tired all week. I actually feel like I've got some energy in me today for once. But I've been sleeping properly. Hurrah!
Also, can we just point out just how amazing you're looking at the moment? Because you've dropped some timber, haven't you, girl? Like you look
Don't
extra
talk about
skinny
that one
today.
here. Don't talk
Why?
about that one here.
Just saying, you look good.
Thanks. Love you too. Mwah.
Definitely time to go, isn't it?
Yeah, let's wrap it up there because God knows what happens next. All right, guys. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. I have, and it's all about me. So yeah, you know, secondary gain for you guys.
Oh God.
Listen. Next week, I'm away delivering a course. Kim is out on a course. So my feeling is we're going to skip next week on the Green Umbrella Live Lunch.
Can't we just get Paul to host one?
We haven't got time to organise that.
True.
So there will be no Green Umbrella Live Lunch next week. I'm really sorry. I know some people will be disappointed by this because I know like they work their whole week around the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. But unfortunately, next week, there won't be one. However, the week after, we will be back as usual, Thursday, 12 o'clock. Green Umbrella Facebook page, my LinkedIn, YouTube, we'll be here. And we'll have 2 weeks worth of news and updates for you and God knows what in between. And Kim's donut maker may have even have arrived by then. So
maybe. Oh, that's not going to work.
We won't get her to demo the power shower, but we'll see if we can get her to demo the donut maker instead.
Oh God, we need to come off now. Like,
No, that's a
Sorry,
private.
Nicole, I've got the end broadcast button.
Just
Nicole,
end it,
we're
Mark.
all right.
yeah, I think just press it, Mark.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. Bye for now. Have an awesome couple of weeks. We'll see you next